Hi friends, welcome to Rouse Rising. My name is Katie and today I have for you an Azure Standard grocery haul. This is where I buy all of my pantry staples. This is where I save money buying in bulk. I'm gonna do a little bit of a price breakdown. Some items I cannot buy in bulk in the grocery store, and some items, if I were to buy them individually packaged at the grocery store, it would be more expensive. But all in all, I'm really pleased with the products that I get. I buy these products on repeat when I run out, and we just finished up a pantry challenge. We've been doing a pantry challenge, or at least my version of one, since November. That means I have been using up as much food stores as I possibly can while spending bare minimal at the grocery store, and I've shared all my hauls with you over the last few months, but most of our food has come from the pantry. We are feeding 7 people, so that's quite a lot of food, and we're all home full-time at the moment. My husband is returning to work, but right now we are all home full-time, and we have been for the past 2 to 3 years. That means we have had 3 square meals a day plus snacks and whatever else in between for a very long time. So it's constant food preparation around here, and when you make most things from scratch, you've seen the pizzas. We have pizzas and stuff like that too, frozen pizzas or whatever for those nights where we just don't feel like making anything because we've cooked every other night of the week. That's always nice to have those things on hand, or the easy spaghetti or whatever it is that is your go-to fast meal. Now, I do like my fast food in my canned jars, and there's plenty of canning videos on this channel where I share with you how I make fast food in a jar. And it's healthy meals that you can pull off the shelf, dump in a pot on the stove, reheat and eat. Serve it with some fresh vegetables or a side salad, or don't, it doesn't matter. You've got fast food that's nourishing and healthy and coming from your kitchen, homemade by you. What could be better? So I always encourage having a well-stocked pantry if you can, at least a few weeks or a few months worth of food extra for those emergencies or tight situations. We have had a lot of that going on over the years, and so my pantry has served my family well. And one of the things that I've done to stock my pantry is buy products from Azure Standard, and that's where I can buy quality, non-GMO, if you prefer that, or organic products or non-organic products. They have all sorts of things available there, but I find that I can buy the size that my family needs, and I'm saving money by buying in bulk. So we bake a lot around here. We make most of our bread from scratch, and now that I have children old enough to bake, we're making loads of cookies. We do have a mill, and we do fresh mill our wheat, and we like to do half wheat, half all-purpose flour that we get from Azure Standard or that we get from Costco, but we prefer to get it from here. And so we do a lot of baked goods. And lately in the wintertime, especially because in the summertime we don't have air conditioning, so in the summertime you'll find we're not baking, we're not turning on any ovens, we're barely cooking on the stove, we're eating a lot of fresh food, a lot of fresh produce, grilling outside, or making the meat products or whatever we have to cook inside, and then having fresh stuff or cold cuts, or lots of sandwiches. We do lots of cold cut sandwiches in the summertime. So I will bake lots of bread, and I can put my bread machine out in the garage where it's not generating heat in the home in the summertime. But in the wintertime, we take full advantage of baking season, and we bake. And I have lots of helpers in the kitchen. Very blessed to have helpers in the kitchen. And so, for instance, here, right before I started this video, we're eating banana brownie bites, banana brownie chocolate cookies. And they're amazing. I'm just not gonna finish it right now. I'm gonna finish it. I said I'm gonna finish this when I'm done filming. So I set it back on the counter. All right, let's go over these products and the prices, the breakdown. I'm gonna open up these boxes with you. I still haven't opened them yet, so we're gonna do that as well. The first thing I got was cane sugar. We had actually broken into our emergency food stores and started using some white cane sugar that I purchased, about a 10-pound bag, I don't know, years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago. Well, it was time to use that sugar up because I had burned through all of my sugar stores. So now that the pantry challenge is over, we are restocking the pantry, and we bought a 25-pound bag of cane sugar. And this is evaporated cane sugar juice. And this 25-pound bag was $31.25. That breaks down to $1.25 per pound, and that is organic. Over here, we have all-purpose flour. This 25-pound bag was $27.32. That means it was $1.09 per pound for organic, unbleached, all-purpose flour. Over here, we've got our favorite kind of rice, and yes, we do splurge on this. We do splurge to get this rice. It is $72.72 for this 25-pound bag, and that breakdown is $2.91 per pound. And we love this rice, and we have not had it as much as we would like because we ran out of it during the pantry challenge, and we just haven't had it. I've been missing it, and I know that the rest of the family has been missing it because we love our sushi rice. So this is tasty. If you haven't tried it, give this a try. Next, we're gonna get into our boxes here real quick. Now, this Azure Standard drop location is local to me. It's about 15 minutes away. That's closer than the last Azure Standard drop location that I participated in, which was about 25 minutes away from my home. In this one, they do claim to have a weekly drop, but the gentleman who hosts the drop works for Azure Standard, and he said he's trying to arrange it every other week. So I'm keeping that in mind, and I'm not gonna pester him every week because I tried to do big orders at once. And so I'm used to doing monthly orders, and then I cut back to every 3 months. And so we'll see how this goes now that we're here in this season of life. So what we have over here in this box is this big, huge tub of raw honey. Now, because it is still winter season, we do drink lots of hot drinks, and we prefer to flavor or sweeten our hot drinks with honey. So this honey was $43.45 for this 12-pound. I think it's about a gallon or so of honey. It's a lot of honey, but one of these will last us about 6 months. It just depends on if I use it to bake with, or if it's summertime, we might not use it as much. I still use it to sweeten our iced teas and things like that in summer. So it all just depends on how much honey we're using versus how much sugar we're using, and we kind of switch it up. We also use maple syrup and coconut palm sugar, so you're gonna see those things in our pantry as well as we rotate through things. Okay, the next thing we have is this dishwasher powder. I like Azure Standard's cleaning products because I can get everything in fragrance free. And at this point in our lives, we have been fragrance free for over 12 years, mostly. I mean, we do some essential oils on occasion, but not really. I'll burn a candle every once in a while. But for the most, and those things smell really strong when we do use them. But for the most part, we've been fragrance free. And will you go with him, please? Oh. For the most part, we've been a fragrance free household. So we can definitely tell when there's, dryer sheets used or things like that. We can smell it in the air, that sort of thing. It's kind of wild, actually. But I'm just saying, we can smell that type of thing, and it's like, wow, that's really strong. So we get unscented, we're fragrance-free clothes washing powder. We get fragrance-free bathroom cleaner, kitchen cleaners, kitchen soaps, dishwasher powder, just like this right here. And this 8-pound bag of dishwashing powder is $37.95. And this typically lasts me, I want to say it lasts about a year, but I also want to say maybe it's 6 months. I would have to look at my order. Because we do 1 to 2 loads of dishwasher dishes a day. I'm constantly rinsing them in the sink and putting them in the dishwasher. And then once the dishwasher's full, we run it. And it's about 2 1.5 dishwashers a day. So we go through some dishwasher powder. Love the fragrance free. It works really well. We have hard water. Sometimes I buy the blue stuff on occasion. It's the blue boosting, I don't know what it's called, but you add that to the other compartment in your dishwasher thing. And if we need that, I'm not sure here how hard the water is, but it's possible we might need that here. All right, apple cider vinegar. We got a gallon of apple cider vinegar. We use this in a lot of dressings, and we use this for cucumbers. The kids love their cucumber pickles. They just cut up fresh cucumbers and then put apple cider vinegar on them, and that's yummy. So this was $11.37 for this gallon of organic apple cider vinegar. It is raw and unfiltered, so it's got that cloudy look to it. It's got all the goodness in there. We love that. All right here, we grabbed a 5-pound bag of baking soda, and the baking soda was $8.22 a bag, and we use that for all sorts of things. It's nice because it's aluminum free, I believe. Pure sodium bicarbonate, and I believe the description on the website says that it's aluminum or something free, if that's important to you. All right here we've got the low moisture whole milk mozzarella. Because you know, everybody's trying to cut the fat out of everything. I don't always understand that. That's good, especially if you have growing children. You want to give them healthy fats, and I'm a big believer in that. And so my kids like this type of cheese. This will get cubed up and put in there. They go to a community day once a week, and so we're gonna make some little mozzarella cubes for them to take in their lunches on community day. And then we also grabbed, oh, let me tell you how much this was. The mozzarella was $27.32 for 6 pounds. I didn't do a price breakdown, but anything, I always think about deli cheese. Deli cheese, for a pound of sliced deli cheese, is over $10. And I know that for a pound of Tillamook, I'm not sure what that's running right now. I have no idea. It's probably, what, $6 maybe for that? But this is 6 pounds for $27.32. And I think that's a great deal for whole milk mozzarella cheese. And we'll use that on pizzas and all sorts of yummy things, grilled cheese, put it on our casseroles, all sorts of things. But I also got a great deal because when you shop Azure Standard, you want to check their sales section. Be sure to check their sales section because they will often, especially right now, they have a lot of really good stuff on sale. So I checked their sales section and I got this cheese on sale. And this happens to be a cheese that I like. It always comes with these stickers. It's actually been a few years since I've gotten this. I don't even know if it's been a few years, but it's been a while since I've gotten this, because what I do is I cut these up into 1-pound blocks and stick them in vacuum seal bags and place them in the freezer. So these ones, it was 10 pounds of cheese for $58.27. So these came out to $5.82 per pound for grass-fed raw medium cheddar, aged at least 60 days. Keep refrigerated. This is Sierra Nevada Grazier's cheese, and we will be splitting this up into 1 or 2 pound blocks. I usually do 1 pound blocks because I'll use like a pound of cheese when I make a meal. So we're close to it, it seems like, especially when you're feeding a family of 7 and trying to have leftovers. So we'll split these up into blocks. They were nice and gave us the stickers, so we'll divide them up and put the stickers on. And these were on sale under $5 per pound for raw cheddar. Good stuff. And then I was getting ready to tell you about this. I'm looking over here because I wrote it on here. This jar of kelp, or this little shaker of kelp granules. This is an excellent source of iodine, and we all need iodine in our diet. We like to sprinkle this on sushi rice. It's been a long time since I've had this. So I went ahead and grabbed some because I have Hashimoto's, and that's an autoimmune disease of the thyroid. And so I try to do things that nourish my thyroid and help it. And I have been slacking for the last year. We've been anticipating this move, and it's been rather challenging, and I haven't taken the best care of myself. My health kind of went downhill, but it's doing a lot better now. We figured out how to manage some things so that they're not so severe. But my thyroid is a huge culprit in all of it, I believe. So I grabbed some of this again, and I'm taking iodine daily, and I'm also taking selenium, and then got this to sprinkle on our sushi rice, to sprinkle on eggs, to have just with our meals, offer it to the kids if they want. They also need iodine in their diets. So good stuff. Check that out if you want an alternative. Not an alternative, if you want a natural source, straight from the source. So that's a good thing to get there too. All right, guys, what I'm gonna do next is, in this video, is I'm going to put all of these items away. Typically what I do with my rice and with my all-purpose flour is I put them in the freezer for about 48 hours or so that just in case if there was anything, any bugs or any eggs or anything like that in there, that you flash freeze them, you kill them off, and then you can store these items for long term. But we'll use up this 25-pound bag of flour in the next 2 months for sure. And we'll use up this rice in the next 6 months, but sometimes it's never happened to me, but I have heard people say that their rice has gotten bugs in it within 6 months, but maybe they already had a bug problem. We don't have a bug problem, so I'm not worried about that. But in the products themselves, don't be freaked out. There can be bugs, like larvae, eggs, things like that, dormant in these at the time that they are bagged up, and it's possible that they can hatch throughout the 6 months. That's why there's like a use by date and all that sort of thing. So what you're gonna see is me putting all this stuff into my 5-gallon buckets and into all of my containers. And then, yeah, that is my Azure Standard haul. I will put the total right across the screen here. Check out my link down below in this video's description and get all of your goods delivered locally to you. When you order bulk food, you've got to have a place to put it. So I've been purchasing these 5-gallon buckets. I'm going to show you in just a minute. I've been buying them from Walmart. You can also get your 5-gallon buckets from Azure Standard. The lids that I use on my buckets are the Gamma Seal lids, and they make them in a variety of sizes. You can get them for 5-gallon buckets, 2-gallon buckets, 3-gallon buckets. And then I think I have a 7-gallon bucket that a friend from here, Margaret, gave me one year, full of hard red wheat berries. We've used through them and refilled the bucket already, but you can find a variety of sizes of buckets. But these 25-pound bags of dry goods do fit in the 5-gallon buckets nicely. And the Gamma Seal lids work to prevent pest contamination. They can seal out the elements. They are watertight buckets and pest proof. So they do have a seal on the lid, and that helps keep your food stored longer. You can also get 5-gallon Mylar bags to put inside of your buckets if you want to do that and add oxygen absorbers to your Mylar bags inside of your 5-gallon buckets. And then that way you have no oxygen, no light getting to your food and denaturing the nutrients in it or making it age quicker than you want. So you can also do Mylar bags in smaller bags, smaller quantity, and then you can put those bags into your 5-gallon buckets, which I have done with a lot of the freeze-dried food that I have preserved. I've got individual Mylar bags, and then I just stack them all in the 5-gallon buckets and put a lid on them, and they're stored in various places. Right now, since we've moved into this home, I do have a storage shed, and that is where I'm keeping quite a bit of our long-term food stores. Some of the buckets that we don't use regularly. That is a sensory thing. People like to see the string get pulled on these bags. And if you don't pull the right string, then the bags are very difficult to open. But if you pull the right string, they are super easy to open. And it took me a year to learn that with all of the pig feed bags that we had back in the day when we were raising our pigs, and all the chicken feed bags. You just learn. Eventually, I saw how to open the bags correctly, and it became less of a power struggle and more of an enjoyable experience to open the bags. So this bag does not have a string on it, the rice bag. So I'm going to cut that open with these scissors and get this dumped into a 5-gallon bucket. Now, I did mention freezing your dry goods before putting them in the buckets, and I am not doing that with this batch of food. But typically with the food that I store for more than 4 to 6 months, I will freeze those bags to eliminate any potential pest risk. Also, you can store your dry goods, your things like rice and beans and grains. You can store them with diatomaceous earth sprinkled on top or throughout the bucket. As you're layering your food, you can sprinkle diatomaceous earth in there. And what that does is that kills any bugs by ruining their exoskeleton. So when they hatch, when they come out, the diatomaceous earth gets on them and it kills them pretty immediately. So that is another option that people use. You want food grade diatomaceous earth if you plan on doing that. Now, that is not something I have dabbled in yet. I haven't needed to do that because I do have the freezer space, or I take that back. I used to have the freezer space to freeze bags, large bags of food. So for instance, this bucket of grains that I am filling up right now, this is my bucket of hard white wheat berries, I believe. And this bucket is what I pull from to get my grain to make breads and that sort of thing. Now, your soft white wheat berries, those are going to be for your cakes and cookies and things of that nature. I have both hard red wheat and hard white wheat that I use for breads, and then I have the soft white wheat and einkorn that I use for cakes and cookies and things like that. And then I have durum wheat berries, which is used to make pasta. If you want to make flours to make pasta, you would use your durum wheat for that purpose. So I do have a bucket of durum wheat, and there is my large bucket of hard red wheat berries, and I'm going to fill up my gallon-sized jar with the hard red wheat berries. You can get these gallon-sized jars from Azure Standard. They also have them in half-gallon sizes, and I use both sizes for my bulk pantry food for my kitchen shelf. So you see I've got these buckets in a side pantry down the hall, and that's where I keep some of my large buckets for now. That's where they're being housed. And I just dip from these buckets so that I've got my containers that are easy to lift, easy to maneuver around the kitchen, that I can easy access or have easy access to in my kitchen. So I fill up these gallon glass jars with the items that I use the most. Now that might be, I use whole kernel corn, I use hard red wheat, hard white wheat, we use the soft white wheat, and then of course the rice. And those items I place over here on this shelf. Now I'm still unpacking and getting organized and finding places for everything in this new home. And I haven't quite figured out where things are going. You know, we're still just trying to live day to day and get organized when we can, as well as, you know, survive this move. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to survive as I sit here in my closet, my dark closet, where I'm doing my voiceover in a nice peaceful area. I might sit here a little bit longer today, but this move has been quite the challenge for me mentally, wrapping my brain around it and all the things that I have to manage as a mother, a homemaker, a homeschool mom, all the things that I have to manage that are on my plate. And organizing this pantry has been one of the last things on my to-do list. So we have food. We're grateful and thankful for that. We're blessed to have our food stores that we do have remaining from the pantry challenge. And I have done the restock from Costco, a brief restock, and then this Azure Standard restock. But at the moment, this pantry, we're going to take a deep dive into it and see what kind of shape it is in, because there's going to come a day when I am going to pull everything off of these pantry shelves and I am going to really organize them. This is the result of trying to unpack and get boxes out of our way. And we got the boxes out of our way. We got everything unpacked. The boxes are gone. So everything just got kind of shoved in wherever it would fit. And that's what we're working with right now. So you can see I've got some of my bigger canners and my roaster. My spare bread machine is up there, the Berkey water filter. We've got some excellent water here, so we're not using the filter at this time. We are saving that for emergency situations. This pantry is in need of some work in a different video. Stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next video.